Here's a bold statement. Theater can be a battlefield, and sometimes the most powerful protests are staged behind the curtain. Seagull True Story is a play within a play, a meta-masterpiece that dares to tackle Anton Chekhov's The Seagull while grappling with the shadow of Putin's war on Ukraine. If that sounds like a dizzying intellectual acrobatics routine, Russian director Alexander Molochnikov pulls it off with a blend of humor and heart, though not without a few missteps along the way. But here's where it gets controversial. Can art truly thrive, or even survive, when war and censorship loom large? And this is the part most people miss. The line between creative freedom and self-indulgence is thinner than you think. The story begins in the rehearsal halls of the Moscow Art Theater, where a fictional director, Khan, Daniel Boyd, loosely inspired by Molochnikov himself, is preparing to stage The Seagull. When Russia invades Ukraine, Khan's world unravels. His public criticism of the war forces him into exile in New York, where he grapples with guilt, anger, and a seagull-esque romance with bohemian actor Nico, Stella Baker. Meanwhile, his mother, Ingeborga Dabkonaite, who also plays Arkadina in the production, urges him to apologize to the Russian government and return home. It's a meta-layered narrative, but narrator Andrei Berkovsky keeps the audience grounded with his magnetic presence. The first act is a knockout, exploring the theater's role as a platform for protest, though it feels frustratingly brief. The cast's journey from disbelief to trauma mirrors the emotional arc of Chekhov's own characters, making the parallels between the two plays strikingly resonant. Alexander Shishkin's surreal set design, complete with dressing room light bulbs framing the stage, adds a playful yet unsettling tone. The production, fresh off an Off-Broadway run, bursts with energy, rap, pulsating beats, and a jaw-dropping dream sequence featuring a shirtless Putin on horseback. Yes, you read that right. But, and this is where it stumbles, the very whimsy that makes the play so imaginative also dilutes its focus. The shifts from drama to satire feel jarring, especially when Khan's struggles in the U.S. mirror Konstantine's battles with his mother's commercialism in The Seagull. While this draws a parallel between artistic constraints in Russia and the U.S., it risks creating a false equivalence that distracts from the play's core questions about dissent and survival in wartime. Does commercialism stifle creativity as much as censorship? It's a provocative point, but one that feels tangential to the larger issues at hand. In its ambition to tackle Chekhov, autobiography, and geopolitical tensions all at once, the play occasionally buckles under its own weight. Yet Molochnikov's central questions linger long after the curtain falls. What does it cost to object to a war fought in your name? How can artists and theaters resist when protest itself becomes dangerous? These aren't just questions for Russians. They're uncomfortably relevant closer to home. And that's the real controversy here. In a world where dissent is increasingly criminalized, what price are we willing to pay for our principles? Let's discuss. Do you think art can truly challenge power, or is it doomed to become another tool of the status quo?